Welcome to creating a flowline alignment for curb ramp design. In this video, we're going to be discussing step by step how to create a flowline alignment. Then we'll create a horizontal alignment report and check the alignment for tangency. The horizontal alignment report is a required survey deliverable. After that, we're going to be exporting that flowline alignment to an XML file, which is another required survey deliverable for District 11. There are a few things you should know about alignments in District 11. One of those is that alignment should be in the tangent curve tangent format, which means you should have a line going into a tangent curve, which goes into another line that is tangent to the exiting curve radius. There are a few exceptions to this rule, but try to stick with that format. It is a best practice. It's also very hard to fix your design at the end if you don't get this right at this step. So make sure you stick to that format. So let's get started. First, we're going to identify the approximate limits that you think you might need. That's an important step in this because we need to know where we're going to begin and end construction. We need to know where we're going to join the existing concrete. So curb ramps are all built off of the flow line. So that's what we're going to be building is the flow line alignment. Let's look at the survey data here. Right here we've got survey data on the screen. You can see we've got a sign right here. We've got some stuff back here in the back, some utility cabinets. We've got looks like a utility in the street. And then we've got this blue line is our flow line alignment. And then this green line right here is our back of sidewalk. And then this one is our original ground, the second green line back there. So that's what this kind of looks like from a survey data perspective. So let's go look at the real world on Google Earth. You can see there's our street sign, there's some utility cabinets. You can see the back of the sidewalk and our flow line. And now we're going to identify the limits. That's the whole point of this, right? So let's I'm going to say maybe we should go to the street sign right here. I do see a little join right here. So we're going to look for some survey shots along that flow line in this vicinity on this side of the ramp. As far as this side of the ramp, I'm going to go to be somewhere where this sidewalk normalizes back here. You see how it's got a cut and then a horizontal PI right here. We want to go past that. So we're going to try to set our limits accordingly. So let's get started on building our construction lines for kind of to set up our alignment. So for the next few steps, we only want to have the endpoint snap on. And for me, this is the only thing on. Let me show you that again. So right down here, we've got the snap cursor to 2D reference points, or OSNAP. So if you type OSNAP, you're going to get a properties menu that pops up. I like to use this little drop down box right here, and then it's pretty easy to just turn the different snaps on that you want. Like I said previously, we only want the endpoint snaps. So I'm going to remove all these snaps for now because we want to snap to the actual survey point. We don't want to snap to an extrapolated point. So we're going to come in the vicinity of this sign. You can see there's the sign, but we want to be along the flow line. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to create a line. So to create a line, you type in L on the keyboard and then enter, or you can type the word line, whichever one you want to do. I use L. And then we're going to kind of just mouse around till we get something popping up here. So it looks like I've got an endpoint popping up on the flow line right here. And then I want to find the closest one that goes into the ramp area. So there we go. I found one. So I'm going to snap to it and I'm going to hit the enter key. So right now we have a line. And I'm going to select line in the line selection box. It'll think, there we go. Now, what we want to do is flatten this line. So you have to use the properties dialog box to do that. If you don't have this properties dialog box on your screen, once you select the line, if you right click on that line and go to properties, you're going to get that same box. So that's the alternative method if it's not already docked in the screen. I prefer to have mine docked. It's up to you how you want your screen. But you see this value for start Z because we scrolled down. So here's the properties. We're going to scroll down. Under start Z, we want to turn it to 0 for your elevation. And NZ, we want to do the same. So start and NZ, we want at 0 elevation. So we flatten the line. And then we're going to come and do our ending line next. And so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to flatten that one as well once we get the line set. So we're going to hit L, enter again to start creating another line. I'm going to start looking around for a point. There we go. See it. We've got an endpoint snap on the flow line. So I'm going to left click on the mouse. I'm going to scroll out a little bit and I'm going to see where the next point is that it's going to snap to. There we go. Oh. Okay. I'm going to left click on there and then I'm going to hit enter to accept the line. And then I'm going to select the line again, go back to my properties, and I'm going to flatten that line. So start Z and NZ are set to 0 again. So I'm going to escape out of that. And then we're going to come look at this. So right now we've got 2 construction lines. We've got one here and we've got another here, right? So we're going to escape out of that. The next thing we're going to do is create a fillet. So we're going to use the fillet tool to create this curve, a tangent curve between the 2 construction lines that we already have. So to use the fillet tool, we want to hit F, enter, and you'll see it brings up that fillet, select first object. So we're going to scroll into our first object, and we're going to just hit that, and we're going to select the line, and then we're going to hit this second object. We're just going to mouse over it. We don't want to select it. You just want to hover your mouse there and leave your mouse there for a second. So let's look at what our options are. So it says fillet, select second object or shift select to apply corner. Well, I'm okay with the second object. I'm not okay with the radius of the curve that it threw on there, right? So the radius is wrong. It's not following our blue line, right? We want it to follow the blue line. In general, we want it to follow the blue line. If you're trying to do a bulb out, something like that, you're obviously going to be creating your own flow line alignment. This we want to kind of mirror what's already out there. So the radius is definitely wrong. So I'm going to type R, enter on the keyboard, and it's going to ask me for a radius. It says specify fillet radius. Well, I'm going to try 15. We're going to just try it. Well, that's not very close either. I want it to really kind of mirror that blue line better. So let's hit R, enter again, and I'm going to hit 20. And that looks a heck of a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that. And you accept that by left clicking on that mouse. I'm going to let it think. It's kind of frozen. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to left click on that mouse. And I'm going to select the line. And you can see it built that fillet for me. So it's pretty close. That's a good match. So we're going to go ahead, and now that we've got our construction lines done, now we start the process of actually building our our actual alignment. So I'm going to hit escape a few times to get out of any tools that I'm in, and I'm going to come up here on the home tab in the create design palette. We're going to go to the alignment tools, and we're going to go create alignments from objects. Now this is probably the easiest way to do this. You can obviously build your own alignment if you want to do it by hand. You can trace over the construction lines. But this one, we're just going to hit the first object. And so I'm going to left click on that first object, select the line. I'm going to select the arc. And then I'm going to hit enter. I don't want to do that third object yet. And so look at the direction. That's not the direction I want my alignment to go. So it says press enter to accept the alignment direction or hit R for reverse. So I'm going to have it reverse it. I don't want it going this direction. I want it to go the opposite direction. So I'm going to hit R, enter. And now it's asking you to name your alignment. So I'm going to name it, this is location 13. And it's ramp 2 of location 13. So my Flowline alignments are always named based on location and ramp, or location and passageway, or location and driveway. So I'm calling this location 13 ramp 2 because it corresponds with the rest of the project. This is a center line alignment. That's what we want. Don't select curb ramp alignment. You'll get everything thrown off. So you have options here. Don't select it. Hit center line. This is a center line alignment. And then because this is ramp 2, I'm gonna have it start at 20 plus 0, 0. Now, if this was ramp 4, I'd start it at 40 plus 0, 0, 0. Sorry, 40 plus 0, 0. And then if it was ramp 1, it would be 10 plus 0, 0, and so on. So you should be able to get the concept there. Most of this stuff is okay. Make sure that this is off. Add curves between tangents. We do not want that. And then it's up to you if you want to erase existing entities. I don't generally worry about it too much. However, if you're going to probably make parallel lines that aren't alignments, you may want to keep that on. I usually just erase it. It's up to you what you want to do. If you want to keep it, that's fine. So go ahead and hit OK. And you'll see it built our alignment, but it didn't include this last construction line. So now we need to do that. We need to add the construction line. So we're going to hit the alignment, and we're going to select the alignment. We're going to come up here to Geometry Editor. And we're going to use the tool right here on the alignment layout tools. We're going to do fixed line 2 points. We're going to zoom in. We're going to make sure it says endpoint before we click. And then we're going to come up to the other endpoint, and we're going to click it once it says endpoint. And then we're going to hit enter. So now we've got an alignment that goes from 20 plus 0, 0 to 20 plus 51, 56. So our alignment's 51.56 feet long. Okay. Now we always want our even station to begin at the BC of the curve. So to do that, we need to adjust the alignment. So we're going to close this layout tools box, and we're going to escape out of here. You might have to click in the screen to escape out. We're going to click on the alignment, select the alignment, and then this little toolbar will pop up. And you want to come over here to Alignment Properties and go to Alignment Properties. Now, 20 plus 0, 0 starts at the beginning. You can see that right here. It starts here and it ends here. Well, this is the reference point for 20 plus 0, 0. So we want to change that reference point to the BC. So we're going to pick the reference point. It's that little tool right here. It's going to give you a warning saying, if you change your reference point, your reference stations, it may inadvertently affect a lot of other things. However, we don't have any of those things yet because we're just starting our design. So go ahead and hit OK. And then we're going to mouse to that BC and wait till it says endpoint, and then left click on your mouse to change that. Now you'll notice our start station is 19 plus 90, 58. That's a good thing. So we're going to go ahead and hit apply. We're going to hit OK. And you're going to notice that the BC is now at 20 plus 0, 0. That's exactly what we wanted. So now we need to check for tangency. So what we're going to do is we're going to escape out of the tool, and we're going to come over here to the Caltrans tab up here, and we're going to go to Tools and Reports, and we're going to go to Horizontal Alignment Report. Now, since we only have one alignment, this isn't a hard choice. If you have a lot of them, you may want to unselect them all and then scroll for the correct alignment. This is an easy one to deal with. It's L13R2. So we're just going to accept that. You can put this wherever you want. You can put it in your project folder. I recommend you do that. I also recommend you rename it to something that you're going to remember. So let's just put it on the desktop here for a second. We're going to call that L13R2. And then I always, if I could type, L13R2 underbar HAR, which stands for Horizontal Alignment Report. That's how I know that it's a horizontal alignment report and not some note that I made on that file. It's up to you how you want to name it. This is my method of naming it. You can do whatever you want. And then go ahead and save that. And then create report. So what we're looking for is tangency here. So the alignment report is going to pop up, and it's going to look just like the stationing that was in that alignment properties dialog box. However, we're looking for something that says non-tangent. If any of these lines here, say non-tangent, you've got a problem. Don't try to delete it. Surveys will know. They run the alignment through their own tangency checker. Another way to check that is to come here and look at the bearings. So on your line, you've got a north 89, 39, 49 east bearing. That should match this direction back in your curve. So north 89, 39, 48 east. So you can see they matched. So it's tangent coming into the curve. Now we want to check it going out of the curve. So your direction ahead is north 125, 43 west. That should match this bearing right here, north 125, 43 west. So after looking at this line is tangent. This curve is tangent. You're in the tangent curve tangent format, which is fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and close that down. Now we know we have a good alignment, which is exactly what we were trying to do. So once we have that good alignment, now we're going to export that alignment because we need to get that. That's our other survey deliverable that we need to get. So we're going to go to the output folder right here, and we're going to go to export to land XML. We're going to unselect everything. That's this box up here. Let me mouse over it so it should pop it up. There you go. Uncheck all. So that's the box you want to hit. Uncheck all. And then we want to just go right here under alignments, centerline alignments. We only want to select the Flowline Alignment. So that's L13R2. And then we're going to hit OK. Now it's going to prompt you to save it. So I'm going to go ahead and just save it to the desktop again. I'm going to do L13R2.xml. So that's what, if you notice, I'm staying with that format. So it should all be in one directory in your project. That L13R2, go ahead and .xml, go ahead and save it because that's going to be one of your deliverables. So now, if we look at the desktop, we've got L13R2XML and L13R2HAR, which is Horizontal Alignment Report. And that's all for this video. Tune into the next one. Thanks.